Tune in for Patrick Ching's Painting in Paradise.
Aloha, I'm Patrick Ching, and thank you for joining me on Painting in Paradise. In this episode, you'll meet champion surfer Lynn Boyer and see her plein air paintings of Hawaii's iconic places. Then watch a new mural get painted at the Waikiki Community Center with the help of community members, big and small. Finally, you'll see the painting of wedge-tailed shearwaters called kane at the Freeman Seabird Preserve on the slopes of Daimond Head. Enjoy all this and more on this Southside episode of Painting in Paradise! Now let's meet world champion surfer and artist Lynn Boyer.
Hi, I'm Lynn Boyer, two-time world champion surfer, and I just love to paint. I discovered this thing called plein air painting, which is when you paint from life outdoors on site, and I just love it. I was born in Pennsylvania. We moved to Hawaii twice, and the second time we moved back here from Maryland in '69, that's when I started to surf. I started surfing when I was 11 at Rest Camp, which is in Pokai Bay in Waianae, and then I soon graduated to surfing at Makaha. I started competing when I was really young in the amateur contests here in Hawaii, and I was able to get into the first professional surfing tour ever because I really practiced surfing a lot and I got really good at it. And I was one of the few women that actually surfed back then. I was on the first ever professional surfing world tour, and we went around the world surfing. I surfed at places like Australia, South Africa, Brazil, and California, even in New York. And I won the world championship in 1978 and 79. One of my best wins that I'll always remember is the Lancers World Cup that was held at Sunset Beach in like 8 to 12 foot west peak swells with slight velvety conditions, offshore wind. Perfect epic waves. I'll always remember those rides for the rest of my life. As far back as I can remember, I just loved art. I always drew when I was young, and I used pencil and pen and ink, and I never really touched color, but all through school I got A's in art. It was my favorite subject. So after my surfing career ended, I always knew I would go back to my art, and I took a summer session at UH in beginning painting and learned to paint with oils. And from that point on, I was hooked on oil painting and using color, light, shadow, and all that stuff. Now I love to paint all over the island. I love to paint the neighbor islands too. I don't really have a favorite spot that I like to go to. I have lots of favorite spots. And most of them are beach scenes, Waimea Bay, Kailua Beach, Ka'aaba, all those areas. I just really enjoy the outdoors, and being outdoors, it reminds me of surfing because you're in the elements and you're out with nature. When I'm out there, I can really see the scene I'm painting versus painting from a photograph. I can see in the shadows, I can see the light and dark changing. Oh yeah, the outdoor painting presents a lot of challenges because of the weather. The wind, the rain, and the cold when I'm painting in Hungary, where I go once a year. I've had my easel blow over. I've had my 2 foot by 4 foot painting at Waimea Bay do a face plant in the sand. Picked it up, it's full of sand, scraped it off and just kept painting. If I don't capture the whole scene, the main thing I want to get down is the values and the light and shadow areas. And then I take photographs during my session there when I'm outdoors painting, and I'll be able to finish it up in the studio later or even 6 months later with the photo, because I have a memory of actually painting there, and the notes I do get on the canvas tells me I can actually use the photos to finish the piece. Most times after I do a plein air session, I'll come back to the studio and put the finishing touches on here in my studio. Makapu is always different, and it has a spiritual essence there. I just love it. You really feel nature there, the wind, the rain, the waves breaking. I never get tired of painting at Makapu. This one behind me is actually on a super windy day, and I'm hiding behind the lifeguard little house there that they have the storage, so I'm out of the wind and rain. And I paint there a lot on those kind of days. What inspired me to paint this painting behind me was I saw a ride online of this woman surfer at Jaws last year. She surfed it as well as any man. It was a huge wave, I don't know, 30, 40 foot, and she totally dropped to the bottom, took a bottom turn, and got barreled and came out. It was awesome. So it inspired me to do this piece. I call it Beauty and the Beasts. I really love painting the Haleiwa Bridge. There's several angles I like to paint there. It's more of a complicated drawing to accomplish, and that always challenges me. I really like to do city scenes as well. When I'm in Hungary, street scenes really challenge me. It's not like a beach scene, so I get to use different colors. I teach 2 plein air painting workshops a year. They're a 4-day intensive workshop. We go to a different location each day, and I'll do a demo in the morning and like about an hour, and then the students paint. I try to encourage them, when they get discouraged, that, we need to keep practicing. It's not like you get good overnight. It's a lot of mileage on the canvas. Sometimes people will go, God, I wish I could do that. I would love to be able to paint. Then I encourage them, I go, well, maybe you need to take a class, because that really speeds up the learning curve. It makes my day, when I start out my day with a great plein air painting session, even a not so great one, just being outside painting and practicing fills me up. After I've had a good plein air paint session, it feels like I had a good surf session. It's the same feeling. My work is in several galleries in Hawaii, and you can also contact me at lynnboyer.com.
When we return, we'll see the making of a mural at the Waikiki Community Center. Now let's watch a mural get painted for the Waikiki Community Center.
I'm Caroline Hayashi, president of Waikiki Community Center. And the story of how this mural came to life is just really incredible one. We had wanted a mural on this wall for so many years. It was just sort of this blank, old, not very attractive wall. And it was the entrance to a preschool. And so, coming into a school, you want a environment or like an image that looks bright and colorful and cheerful. And that was not what this wall was prior to this beautiful mural being painted. So we were put together through an art consultant, Naomi Gautier, and she put WCC, Waikiki Community Center, a nonprofit, and artist Patrick Ching, he put us together, and it was just such an amazing match. The art that Patrick designed was based upon the names, animal names of all of our classrooms. We have 6 classrooms. They were each named after Native Hawaiian animals. And so he designed the mural around that. And so it was really personalized to what our school was and did. And the kids recognize their animal when they come through. And it's just been such an amazing piece of community art, such a great partnership. We just love it.
Before painting the mural, I first had to design it on paper. And then I added some colored pencils so folks could see what I was thinking. After that was approved, I then redesigned the art on computer and projected it onto the wall.
When you're greeted in the Hawaiian way, it's a beautiful day here in Hawaii.
After that was approved, we could finally begin to start painting. First, we had the walls painted the beautiful blue color of the school. Then I used tape and freehand techniques to draw the art onto the walls. Other folks helped me paint it like a coloring book. A major portion of the mural was painted by volunteers from EO who were in Hawaii attending a conference. Every color was painted at least twice.
It's a beautiful day when you hear the people say, "Hui pehea e aika ko."
That's so spooky.
Are you good?
go in 1 second.
Even members and just people who love the community center came to paint. And it was a great time for photo ops.
How for me?
Dude, this one right there.
When you're greeted in the Hawaiian way, it's a beautiful day here in Hawaii. It's a beautiful day when you hear the brothers play.
No, no.
To paint the names of the animals, first we applied vinyl lettering to the wall.
It's a beautiful day here in Hawaii. It's a beautiful day.
Then we traced around the vinyl lettering.
I am tracing the letters where they get painted.
Then we painted the words.
Hawaii. It's a beautiful day when you hear the people say Kala'apopo, e hano hokaua, tomorrow let's do it again. E malama pono ahui ho'aku, take care until I see you again. It's a beautiful day here in Hawaii. It's a beautiful day when you're greeted in the Hawaiian way. It's
And finally, the mural was complete.
here in Hawaii. Let's make it a beautiful day when you greet them in the Hawaiian way. When you greet them in the Hawaiian way. When you greet them in the Hawaiian way. Aloha.
Our mission is to care for our kupuna kiki and community as ohana. So the piece definitely reflected that. So Patrick not only brought in images of who the school was into the art, but our community participated in actually painting the finishing touches on the mural, and they really felt a part. So we had families and children come to help with the mural. We had some of our kupuna, we have a lot of kupuna programs here, come and do some painting, and some of our team members that work here at the center. So we had so many people from the community, our community at the center and the community as a whole, really feel like they were a part of completing this beautiful piece on the wall.
When we return, I'll show you how I painted shearwaters on the slopes of Diamond Head. And now watch a painting of wedge-tailed shearwaters called Ua'ukane. I was blessed to live a good part of my life among seabirds like the Ua'ukane or wedge-tailed shearwater. So I was happy to get a call to paint them for someone who spent her life protecting them. These birds are famous for the calls they make, which sound kinda like babies crying. Years earlier, I had done a sign for the Freeman Seabird Preserve on the slopes of Diamond Head. So this is where I went to get inspiration for the painting. For most of my realistic paintings like this one, I do a drawing first to show where everything's gonna go. paint everything with several layers. There's a lot more to come. Here's a couple flying. On the edge of the birds, I put a little glow of sunrise and maybe a glow of some dirt. For faraway cocoa head, I gotta use faraway colors. I slowly build the bird's feathers with layers of paint. This is how I show the veins on the leaves. I don't know why I point like that, so if you can tell me, let me know. These are some native Ilima flowers. They add some nice color to this picture. The plant with the white flowers on the left is the night-o, and the one with the yellow flowers is the nohu. I try to make the splashes of the waves look transparent. In the distance are some beach morning glory called pohuehui. It's a chance to put more color in. Now's the time to put some details in. I call it the candy, it's like your reward at the end. Detailed lines are as hard as they look. I mean, you gotta load the brush, you gotta shape the brush, you gotta stroke the brush, sometimes like in between heartbeats. Bright highlights will make those beaks look smooth and shiny. This plant is the Pa'u o Hi'iaka. It means the skirt of the goddess Hi'iaka. That's Pele's sister. And a little more morning glow. And finally, the glimmer in the eye. Bing! And don't forget your signature. And this is a painting of Wa'ukane at Le'ahi, that's Diamond Head. And in the distance you can see Cocoa Crater in the center and Cocoa Head toward the right, with a couple of other shearwaters flying around. Aloha! Thank you for joining me on Painting in Paradise. I hope you enjoyed hearing from Lynn Boyer, watching a mural get painted, and seeing how I painted shearwaters at the Freeman Seabird Preserve on Diamond Head. I'd love to see your art, so send me some pictures through my website at patrickchingart.com. Aloha!